Welcome to day 4 of the courage to begin. This is such a beautiful process because together we've been able to experience asking ourselves some very powerful questions of transformation that help us feel empowered to take those first steps in the new direction of the next chapter of our lives. So today we are talking about becoming. We're talking about the fact that manifestation is not about getting things. It's not about the acquisition of stuff. It's about becoming. It's about embodiment. It's about exploring identity, self-trust, and expanding your capacity to hold what's next. So, as you know, this is a cross between, a hybrid, if you will, between motivation and meditation. And to begin with, I ask you to take a slow breath in and gently exhale. Allow yourself to arrive here right now. There's nothing that you need to do, nothing that you need to pay attention to right now. You just need to be here in this moment. Just this breath as you take another slow breath in and then exhale. Over the last few days, you've explored what may be keeping you stuck. You've reflected on what you're ready to let go of, which is amazing, by the way. I know that's not easy. You've spent time in the space between. You've spent time in the place where one chapter is ending and another is beginning. And now we arrive at something really significant and important. Becoming. Because manifestation is often misunderstood, and I have been teaching manifestation now for nearly 2 decades. And what I've noticed through many of the incredible people that I have had the deepest honor of working with as a mentor, the people that have read my writing or my books all over the world, millions of people have read my writing. What I have come to understand that many people believe manifestation is about getting something, getting more money, getting the perfect relationship, getting or landing the opportunities. But manifestation isn't simply about getting. It is about receiving. I will note that. It is about opening up to being able to receive. But more so, it's about becoming. So think about that for a moment. Every meaningful change in your life required a new version of you. You have to become a different version in order to receive. You need to be the version of you that, the version of you that started the business is not the person that you are now if you want to start a new business, or the version of you who fell in love or wrote a book or had to have a difficult conversation. Your life has always changed because you've changed. You've changed your energetic patterns, your signature energetic patterns, and the external transformation followed an internal one. We forget this so often. We believe that the external world dictates our internal world, but it's the opposite. The external world changes as the result of transmuting and alchemizing the energetics from within. And that is the essence of becoming. So take another breath. We're going to dive in deep with this one because so often we become obsessed with the outcome. We focus on what we want, what we hoped for, what we wished would happen, but rarely do we pause to ask this question. Who do I need to become in order to create this? Who do I need to become in order to create this? Because every dream that you have requires a certain capacity to hold it. You need a capacity to trust. You need to have a capacity to receive it, to lead it into its future, to create it, to hold that uncertainty, to take responsibility, which is a massive part of manifestation, and then to remain committed and consistent. I mean, there's a whole thing. And this is one of the reasons why I have my group on school, which is called Manifest with Sarah Prout, because you really need that ongoing inspiration and community as you move through this next phase of your journey. So you need to be able to keep going when results haven't arrived yet. So imagine for a moment someone handed you everything that you've been asking for today, right now, everything, like the opportunity, the success, the money, the abundance, the relationship. Would you be ready to hold it? Not just receive it, but to hold it. And I've spoken about this on stages many times throughout my career, that I think it's upwards of 90% of people who win the lottery or a large amount of money lose their winnings within the first 5 years. You know why? Because they're not able to hold it. They can't sustain it. They don't trust themselves with it. And so many people focus on attracting what they want, but few people focus on expanding their capacity to hold it. And yet that expansion is where the true transformation happens. It really does. And I've been through this in my own life with various cycles of manifesting large amounts of abundance very quickly and then the tide going out. And there's something so powerful about when that tide goes out. It's that, as I mentioned in the previous session, that space in between. You're learning how to expand your capacity, because we operate on two functions as human beings. We're either expanding or we're contracting. We're expanding or we're contracting. We're acting out of love and trust and the creative flow of energy, or we're contracting through fear, through scarcity, through doubting, through believing that we can micromanage and control every single outcome. And so there is a future version of you who already embodies the qualities you're developing right now. There's a version of you who trusts themselves more deeply, who thinks just a little differently. You're rewiring your belief system. You move differently through the world. You no longer wait for permission. You no longer need certainty before taking action. And you understand that fear and courage can exist together. And that version of you isn't somewhere far, far away. They're being created right now with every choice. The choice to be here now in the courage to begin. And so we remember that becoming is rarely dramatic. It's like this tiny tiptoe that happens really quietly in ordinary moments. In those moments you choose to believe in yourself. Those moments where you're a little bit scared and your voice shakes, but you set a boundary. Those moments you stop abandoning your own truth. The moment you take that first step. In those moments, they might seem really small or inconsequential, but they shape identity, and identity shapes destiny. Who you think you are shapes your destiny going forward. So take another breath. And I want you to imagine for a moment meeting the version of yourself who has already created what you're envisioning. Not the perfect vision, not the, glamorous highlight reel version, the real version. The one who learned, the one who grew, the one who stayed committed. What kind of qualities do they possess? How do they carry themselves? What do they believe? How do they treat themselves? How do they respond to conflict and challenges? How do they make decisions? Just notice what comes up. There's wisdom there. Because the future you're hoping for, the future that you're currently manifesting, it's leaving clues all the time in your current reality as breadcrumbs, not through circumstances, but through identity. So take a breath. You don't need to become someone else right now. You don't need to reinvent the wheel and completely become a different person. You just need to grow into more of who you already are. Because society peels those layers away. They make us slowly forget who we are, what we love. And we need to become more courageous, more trusting, more aligned, more open. And so as we close today's session, I want to leave you with a question. One that you are going to be carrying into your next chapter. Who do I need to become to create the life I'm envisioning? Who do I need to become to create the life I'm envisioning? Don't rush this answer. Just let it reveal itself. Because manifestation as I mentioned, isn't about getting and receiving. Well, it is about receiving. It's not just about grabbing, money grabbing, that kind of thing. It's about becoming. And becoming is already underway. We're already manifesting that through this process. So take one final breath in and slowly exhale. And trust the process. Trust your growth. Trust the person that you're becoming. I am absolutely loving this experience. It's such a deep honor to be on this journey with you. And I'll see you in day 5.